This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another Bring the Juice Colts podcast live stream. Thank you all so much for tuning in on this beautiful, Thursday afternoon now? Gosh, I can't even remember the days now. I'm just so excited. It's football season. And guys, also, hey, it's the Hall of Fame game tonight, right, Cody? So
right.
We get football back today. We actually get some. Now, obviously, there's going to be no starters probably playing in those games, but nevertheless, we still get football. And will I secretly be watching it on my phone while I go ahead and go to my girlfriend's birthday party? You bet your ass.
Happy birthday to Zoe, by the way. Yep. Happy birthday. That's awesome. But yeah, man. And guess what? It is 10 days away from the Colts' first preseason game, which is very exciting. And feels like there's a lot to talk about, but also it's like today has kind of been boring. The Colts didn't practice today. They'll be back tomorrow. So not as much to talk about today, but I'm excited to moving forward, man, seeing what's going on. So.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we got almost 100 people in here already through X and YouTube right now. Make sure to hit that like button wherever you guys are watching, guys. Helps it get out to more people. Be sure to smash the like button. Be sure to comment in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe today. We've had a huge influx of subscribers recently with the new season coming around, so we greatly appreciate that. Also, guys, want to remind you guys, as you saw at the beginning, this stream is powered by BetUS. Be sure to sign up today, guys. 125% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. But thank you guys so much for tuning in here today. We wanted to go ahead and just kind of talk about a few different things going on with the Indianapolis Colts. We've been feeding you knowledge every day, you know, what's going on in practices, talking about receiver battles and all these other things. Cody actually made a video today talking about a lack of a position that the Indianapolis Colts have addressed. And I think Cody has a direction he wants to go with on this one. So Cody will kind of just follow your lead here. You were talking about the free safety position, if I'm not mistaken.
I was. And Derek, there was crazy amount of people with a variety of different thoughts on the free safety position. I just gave my personal opinion of it. And I believe, Derek, for me, I believe that this is a position in the next couple of weeks the Indianapolis Colts almost have to address in some capacity. Whether it is go for the big fish in Justin Simmons or Quandre Diggs, or it's just adding a veteran back there, right? Because, Derek, I think I'd feel a little bit different if, say, Nick Cross was 100% the guy locked in. He took the opportunity by the horns, and he was the guy moving forward. I wouldn't like it. Like, I would be like, I still would like a safety, but I would like it a lot more than I like it now. I mean, Derek, Ronnie Harrison Jr. is getting looks at number 1 free safety, a guy that played linebacker last year. He's never played free safety in his career. So, I mean, for me, I'm kind of like, that is not good news, in my opinion, for the free safety position. If Nick Cross is losing out to former 7th-round pick, or he's losing snaps, he's splitting snaps, I should say, with a former 7th-round pick and Rodney Thomas, who was unplayable last year, and a guy in Ronnie Harrison who has kind of been around the league a little bit, right? And he didn't even play free safety last year. So I'm a little bit nervous there. And so I'm like, you know what? It's probably going to cost you a little bit, but you have the money and you need that position. You need some stability back there because, Derek, I'm just really hoping that Chris Ballard doesn't make a mistake that he has made multiple times in the last couple of years. It feels like the last 2 off seasons, you can point to a position where you're like, you should have made a move in free agency of some sort. I think last year we'd probably say, when all the stuff went down with, Gilmore being shipped off, you cut Darius Rush, you had obviously the injuries that came up with Dallas Flowers and some of that. You probably could have said corner would have been a position like you could have said realistically at least sign somebody, but the Colts didn't. You know what? You got some young guys experience, but you could point to that as one of the issues last year. And then I feel like in 2022, it was a multitude of issues right? It was Danny Pinter at guard, which obviously did not work out at all, and then Matt Pryor at left tackle. And I felt like, Derek, some unwarranted faith in those guys that really had never shown you 100% that they were going to be. Now, it ended up working out with Will Fries and Bernard Ryman, but the Colts definitely suffered for it that year. They definitely suffered for it. And we've seen in the past where I feel like Chris Ballard almost, like, it's one thing to believe in your guys, and I totally understand that. But also I think it's like not being so focused on your own guys that you miss out on opportunities to get better as a football team. It's like if there's one big criticism that I've had of Chris Ballard, it's I don't think he's reactive enough when it comes to filling the needs that you need, right? When things happen, like I think there's a time and a place where you can utilize free agency later on. He's done this somewhat, but it feels like there's been a couple times where it's like I don't hate how he approached it in the offseason necessarily, but I hate how he's reacted to it. Now, when it comes to free safety, I haven't been a big fan of how he's addressed it at all this year. But I'm like, on one hand, Nick Cross is still young. I get that. But Derek, even if you signed one of those safeties, Nick Cross is still going to have a role of some sort. Like, it's not like he's not going to see the field.
Right.
And everybody would sleep better at night knowing that you have a guy back there that's at least semi-competent, and you're going to know that for sure. And you know what? If Nick Cross is good enough, maybe he'll beat out that guy, or he'll get playing time of some sort, right? Like, I would love Justin Simmons, but I'm kind of to the point where I'm like, just get somebody back there that can at least provide stability, like any sort of stability. Doesn't have to be like all pro, although obviously we'd love that. But like just somebody back there that like a couple years ago when the Indianapolis Colts signed Rodney McLeod, right? Like that type of thing where it's like a veteran guy that can come in for a year or two and can fill in. And maybe Nick Cross can still develop into that guy, but Derek, it's year 3 at this point, like, so I'm kind of like, and he still hasn't taken that position and run with it. So I guess to me, I kind of look at it and I just say, how much longer are you going to wait on this guy to fulfill his potential before you swallow your pride? You get some money and you go out and get a guy. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Now, I'm not saying the Colts have to do this right now, but I'm saying in the next couple weeks, if they trot out there with not making a move at free safety, I'm going to really be scratching my head. And if we look, multiple weeks through the season and the defense is struggling, especially that free safety position, it's like, well, you had opportunities, you had chances. And so I'm just hoping it's not another situation like it's been with a couple different players where you put some faith in them, and honestly some faith that seems unwarranted. And it seems like free safety, especially, that has a little bit of unwarranted faith to me.
Absolutely. Well, before I go into it a little bit more, thank you again, everybody that is still tuning in. Thank you all so very much. This stream is powered by BetUS. Be sure to like the stream, guys. Be sure to comment. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yes, we had to get to the super chat. Smokey Dabs 420, one of our loyal members and moderators on this channel, with the $5 super chat. Got my Latu jersey ordered today. It'll be my first Colts jersey. Wow, that's awesome. Hey, it's a great one to start with. Certainly hoping that Latu will fill that jersey need for you, my man. That's awesome. Thank you again for the super chat. Cody, what was your first Colts jersey that you got?
I'm pretty sure it was Peyton Manning. I think I still have one of them. I'll go grab it real quick. It's just in my closet right here. I'll show you.
All right. We're going to wait a second, guys, just so we can see this. And then I'll go into my argument that he made on the safety class.
All right. So I think I was in like middle school and I was like at the mall and I saw this jersey. This was probably like 2008, 2009. And I was like,
oh, okay.
Get this. Peyton Manning, captain badge. I was like, I got to get this. And it's not like those cheap ones you get now. Like it's actually like stitched and everything. It's
yeah. My friend Toby got a Josh got a half Colts, half Broncos, one of Peyton. So
that's awesome.
Anthony, member for 16 months, also a moderator on this channel. And this guy is awesome. What is up, fellas? Almost football season, baby. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for being a member of this channel. Did I ever tell you, Cody, what my first Colts jersey ever was?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's not Peyton Manning.
Okay.
It's not a big name player.
All right.
But just try to guess. It's mid 2000s.
Mid 2000s.
Yeah, mid 2000s.
Can you give me any sort of hint?
It is an offensive player.
Oh my gosh, that's
and he was he obviously was not Peyton Manning, and he was not a running back.
okay. So what? That leaves Reggie, Marvin, Dallas Clark, Brandon Stokely.
Not
randomly.
the big ones. Not the big ones.
Brandon Stokely.
No, you're in the right direction though.
Oh my gosh, in the right direction.
Yeah.
You said in the mid 2000s.
Mid to late. I don't know exactly what years he actually
Austin
played.
Collie.
What?
Austin Collie.
No, hold on.
Pierre Garçon. I'm gonna keep going. Like what year? What year was he kind of like?
Oh yeah, he was more towards late 2000s. Okay, so he was more to late 2000s.
What was his? Can you give me this? What was his rookie year? Like what year was his first year?
2007.
Oh, okay. 2000s. Anthony Gonzalez, Buckeye.
Yes,
duh.
Anthony Gonzalez.
Gosh, that's a name I haven't heard.
Anthony Gonzalez was my first Colts jersey that I ever got when I was young and growing up.
Oh man, I forgot.
As a Buckeye fan myself, and seeing another Buckeye go to Indianapolis, you always love it. I try to get those when I can. So
what is it with Colts players, like the Colts drafting Buckeye wide receivers and they never work out for whatever reason? I don't get it.
I don't know, man. It sucks because like we've seen a lot of Ohio State wide receivers, both in the past and in the present now, just absolutely rocking the league.
But like the Colts never get the good ones.
But
weird.
The Colts never get the great ones. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I know.
I'm like, what the heck, man? Like that would be so sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm trying to think like the best Colts, like Ohio
Maybe
State
the
players
Colts will be like surprisingly bad like 4 years from now, and Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State will land in Indianapolis because, you know, Jeremiah Smith is about to become the next great wide receiver in college football.
Hey, it's wide receiver you, man. I can't even argue that.
It is wide receiver you.
It's crazy the product they pump out of there. It's wild.
Ryan Hartline, baby. Man knows the stuff.
Yep.
Oh man. But anyways, back to your point that you were talking about. Yeah, so I totally agree with you. I mean, the fact that you are competing with that spot as to who deserves the number one spot tells you everything you need to know about their feelings about Nick Cross. They may like him, but he's not ready. He's not ready. If he was ready, he'd be the number one. He wouldn't be losing all these snaps to Ronnie Harrison. And there wouldn't be a talk about it. There wouldn't. So it's very evident that the Colts do not trust their free safety room and they don't know what to do with it right now. So something needs to be done with it, because if you have a position in the secondary that's already young and going through growing pains, and you're just sitting there saying that this position is okay when it's not, you shouldn't be so lackadaisical about it. I mean, I know that Ballard let on nothing about what he plans to do with this unit, but like you said, Cody, if they're looking at this unit over the next 2 weeks and they see, oh man, these guys suck. Like, no wonder, like the offense is just absolutely lighting them up in training camp. And you still do not say, I don't care if I have to throw the entire bag at a Justin Simmons or a Quandre Diggs to make sure that they can be here to help this team, then I don't know what you're doing. I really don't know. And I don't know how many other great safeties are still left on this roster or on free agencies right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's more guys than Justin Simmons and Quandre Diggs. And I'm sure that a few of those guys are probably still better than what Nick Cross would give you. Right. So, I mean, I gotta feel like there has to be something better than what you're doing right now. And it has to be worth spending $6 or $7 million a year to do it. Like, I don't know why it's that difficult.
It's our friend Seth, the best singer in Colts Nation. Shout out to Seth. Seth, I will let you know I still have it in my head. I still have the Colts song you sing every week. So
this is our Colts. This is our
I can't get it out of my head now.
We bleed blue. I can't wait for those to come back this year.
You made it.
I mean, Logan, you're like Logan's spirit animal, bro. Like Logan has like just such an affinity for those songs.
It's so great.
Come on. What's up, Troy?
I love it.
Man. I feel like the Colts have to do something. I feel like they have to. I mean, and I'm surprised that it's taken them this long. I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that just obviously it takes two to tango, but at the same time, you got guys like Justin Simmons and Quandre Diggs who are still available. And it does make me wonder, like, truly, like, I mean, they obviously couldn't have been in a situation where they never met up with a team and didn't like every single situation and every single money offer that they didn't want it, right? Like, I mean, that's what I got to wonder. Like, there has to be something that you can go out there and do and be like, somebody has to be willing to play on $6 million for this year just to at least get through this year, just so we know that we're going to be okay at free safety this year.
Yeah. I don't know. I just am kind of like, I don't know. For me, I'm just like, okay, even if you throw the bag, like that's an former all-pro safety like that you'd be getting. Like, it's worth the money. It is worth the money, especially if your goal is playoffs. Why would you not? It's literally sitting right there. You have the money. Like, it just doesn't make any logical sense. Like, I get on one hand, we want to see what we got. We like our young guys, but none of your young guys have shown out. We have not heard a thing about that free safety position. I know we still have some time, but I'm kind of just like, why wait? And maybe they'll kind of decide after that first preseason game and after joint practices. I'm not sure, but I just think as it stands right now, unless somebody truly starts to like stand out, Derek, it's hard for me to just sit there and say, just sit on your hand, you'll be fine. And it's so strange because I feel like in certain ways, Derek, Chris Ballard has been very good about making sure the cupboard's not bare on certain positions. But then with safety, it's like he almost throws his brain out the window. It doesn't make any sense for why he's approaching it the way he's approaching it. I just don't agree with it at all. I understand you may like a couple of these guys, but you need a legitimate starter that's going to go out there and be a difference maker. Like, I'm not saying this defense is perfect, but I think if you get that settled, I don't have a glaring question on defense. Obviously there's always going to be questions. There's no doubt. But like, it just would solve so many things. It would solve so many things for me and so many questions we have. And also you talk about, we like our young guys. Yeah, but you need more veterans in there. You don't have any. Julian Blackman's the only veteran. And he's 25? Like, you need another veteran in there. I don't think it's a question. So I'm just like, man, you just got to figure it out. You just cannot go into the season if it's going to be like it is right now. I just don't agree. Just don't agree with it. And, I've had my issues with Chris Ballard. This whole like standing pat when you should make a move, it just drives me insane. And I know a lot of Colts fans, not just fans, media are saying the same thing. Now, again, this is all our opinion. The Colts are going to have to make the decision and evaluate for themselves. But I'll say, Derek, if you get lit up by CJ Stroud the first week, Jordan Love the second week, like, I think it's Jordan Love. I know you're playing some really good quarterbacks early on, right?
Yeah, you're gonna play some good ones, and especially now because with Caleb Williams sounding as good as he has so far in Chicago, I mean, it's gonna be the first 3 weeks are gonna be difficult for you.
It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. So I just don't want to sit here and try to play catch up with the free safety because our GM's too bullheaded to do something about it. That's my opinion on it. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm just kind of sick and tired of just settling, settling and being like,
especially when you have the money to make a situation better.
It's like you have the money. There's multiple guys. Make a move, and it would just solve so many issues, man.
It would.
Like, I'm not saying your defense would be perfect. No, you're gonna have issues still. You have some young guys,
but it would be better. It might make your defense go from the 25th best defense to maybe the 22nd or 21st, which I mean, in all retrospect is better. It might win us a game or two here and there.
Well, Derek, I'm just like thinking last year, and I know there was other issues like pass rush and some youth at corner, but I'm like, how many games would you have said, man, if we just had a quality free safety, we would have won more games. Like we would have won 1 or 2 more games. And that's the difference between making the playoffs and not, right? Like a couple plays. So all that stuff matters, man. And so that's kind of where I sit. And like we said, you're going to play a quarterback gauntlet this year. So it just would make a lot of sense to just do something about this position and not keep us in a constant, I feel like just this constant state of anxiety about that position, because I'm like, you just don't know what you're going to get with this group. And that's scary, man. That's scary.
Absolutely. Hey, Smokey Dabs again with a $5 super chat. I just can't wait till Richardson, JT, Downs, Pittman, and Mitchell shut the haters up. Hey, I mean, they're going to do it this year, man, especially Richardson. He's going to go out there and he's going to prove everybody wrong. But appreciate that, Smokey Dabs, for the other super chat, saying there's 50 of us in here and 17 likes. Show our boys some love. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Yep, we got just over 60 of you on YouTube now and just over 20 likes. So appreciate that. We do have 350 people watching across all our major platforms right now. So we greatly appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. But we will go ahead and take a brief second here to talk to you guys about the sponsor for today's video or stream, that is BetUS. Guys, are you looking for a new book this football season? BetUS is the answer. Some of the great things that you get with BetUS, you have the fastest payouts in the industry. As I said at the beginning of the video, you have 125% sign-up bonus, up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. They even can give you a 200% crypto deposit bonus. You have fast and easy deposit and withdrawals. You have 24/7 personalized service every day of the year. You can actually live wager on all major games, which is awesome. So while in the middle of games, their ratings and bets change throughout all of that. So it's great for you guys who want to be more active. Best betting variety, which I'll show you guys here in a moment. You get 10% back on your net losses twice a year. So that's definitely nice. So even when you're losing, you are going to get a little bit of that back, which is very nice of them. And also, did you know that BetUS can give you your very own personal account manager? Well, you guys can check out all of that and more. We have a link to the BetUS site down below in the description using our link. So definitely check that out for you guys. And also, I might as well show you guys what we're kind of dealing with here, because there is a lot of cool stuff when it comes to BetUS. I mean, some of these odds, guys, are really fantastic. I mean, we'd look at some of the odds on awards this year. Cody, did you know that Anthony Richardson is a plus 4,000 to win Offensive Player of the Year? I mean, imagine if Anthony Richardson becomes even partly what we want him to be. I mean, that's a huge hit if something like Anthony Richardson were to hit that.
He's right there with like Joe Burrow and Devontae Adams, and that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Wow.
Absolutely. And there's a bunch of other cool ones here too, guys. Anthony Richardson is the 4th best rating to actually win comeback player of the year. So that sounds like a pretty good bet right there.
Why the heck is Daniel Jones up there, bro? What is that?
I can't believe Daniel Jones is there, man. But hey, another good one too. Latu with the favorite at plus 350 to win defensive rookie of the year. So there's a couple really good bets on there, guys, if you're wanting to do it. But check it out, guys. I mean, you get a ton of options to choose from. It's more than just seasonal awards. You can even do stuff on each week when you're going and doing bets on each and every game each week. Obviously, we're looking at our Colts and the Texans week 1. All those different options there, and these will obviously get changed during games as well for live changes on that. So again, guys, I highly encourage you check out BetUS, guys. There's a lot of great options on there. And obviously when you create the account, when you start putting your bets together, it'll show you how much money you make based off of how much you're putting down on it and what your odds are on those bets. So highly encourage you guys, go check that out.
Yeah.
But Cody, we'll kind of have a few more minutes here. We'll just go ahead and do like a last little thing here. What group do you want to talk about right now? I mean, there's a lot to talk about with this Colts team right now. And it feels like the offense especially is just going insane.
Yeah, it does. Here's what I just was like thinking about this, and you're looking at the odds. I'm like, I was trying to decide if I was going to say over under that Latu is close to or goes over Dwight Freeney's Colts rookie sack record. You know what that number is?
It was 13, was it not?
13, yes. Back in 2002 for Dwight Freeney, which is tied for third all time for rookie defensive players, which is kind of crazy. You want to have any guess on who number 2 and number 1 are, Derek?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, I'll get one of them. You probably remember one of them was on the Titans back in the day, back in the early 2000s. 99 was his rookie season. I don't know if you know this name or not.
I don't think I will.
Okay. And then the other one was, I'll say, one of the most wasted talents we've ever seen from an edge rusher. And he played back 2011 was his rookie season. Have any guesses there?
2011 was the rookie season?
Yep. You want the team? I'll give you the team conference. He was in the NFC West. That's where he was drafted at.
2011. Wouldn't that have been around the time that Aaron Donald got into the league?
It's not Aaron Donald.
It's not Aaron Donald because I'd say
my hint for him, this player is he is a stud, but he wasted his talent with off the field issues. He could have been incredible.
I don't know, man. You got me. You got me.
You want the team name?
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Was it Aldon Smith?
It was Aldon Smith, yes. He had 14, and then number 1, Javon Curse from the Tennessee Titans, 14 and a half sacks back in 1999. So Dwight Freeney was tied with Micah Parsons for the third most all-time as a rookie, and also Reggie White as well. So what are your thoughts, Derek, though? Latu. I mean, the dude has been lighting it up in full pads. Like, it's the first day of full pads. Latu was killing the Colts offensive line, whoever it was, whether it was Bernard Ryman or, whoever you want to throw into the backup tackles. It doesn't matter. He was just absolutely killing them. So what's your number? What's your number for Latu this year? Now that he's going to have probably a more extended role and honestly will probably be a starter.
I would probably go at 10.5, to be honest.
Okay. It's a pretty good
10.5
number.
is modest.
I think for me, like 8 to 10, I would be very happy with. Somewhere floating around double digits. Obviously, if he does more, fantastic. But I think that is a really good number. Like 10 to 11 would be like phenomenal. I would be overjoyed if he got that amount. And I think he can do it, Derek. Like, I really do. Like, I know there's so many people. Like, there's a reason why Latu's favored to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Like, people know he's a dog, man. Like, he is. He's already shown it as a rookie. So I'm like, if he's freaking like doing that to Bernard Ryman, who I would say, Derek, last year was arguably a top 10 left tackle. If he's doing that to Bernard Ryman this year, and Ryman's probably only going to get better, like, that's interesting to me. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but like, Ryman's no slouch, man.
Oh yeah, certainly no slouch at all. I mean, it definitely is great to see Latu not only beating up on the second stringers, but also having some good fought battles against guys like Ryman as well. Yeah. Ryman certainly isn't a scrub, and that is really great to see him doing that. Dude, I gotta stop this real quick. Hold on, but let me get through some of these real quick. I gotta do this. Smokey Dabs with a $2 super chat. Thank you. I'd take Diggs for a 1-3-year deal. I can agree. $5 super chat. Thank you. Would you rather help me with the discussion? Who would you rather have in the playoffs, Flack or Richardson? I appreciate you. I have to laugh at this a little bit. Spooks Hill Joe, man, I respect you. I know you're around for a lot of these streams. I love it, man, and I appreciate you. I gotta respond to this take. Look at Flacco. I'll take him in the playoffs or Super Bowl before Richardson. Now, here's my thing. You have the audacity to say that after he got picked off 4 times against the Texans in his last playoff game. 2 of those were pick sixes. And you want to sit here and tell me that you would take him over Anthony Richardson, who we have no clue yet as to what he's capable of when the push gets to shoving. Like, that's the only issue I have with this comment. And on top of it, he's been saying, I do not deny the fact that Joe Flacco has looked solid in training camp. And he's got a great arm, and that he still is a very serviceable quarterback. No question about it. But your argument for it is insinuating that Richardson will not be around come playoff time. But yet that's not what you're talking about in this. You're saying that you would rather have Flacco in the playoffs, whereas we don't know how Richardson will play in the playoffs because he's never been there yet. But yet the guy you're saying you want was the main reason why the Browns lost in their last playoff game. I mean, am I crazy here, Cody, for insinuating this?
I know. I don't want Joe. Like, no, I'm not going to choose Flacco over Richardson. No, I'm not going to. Now, I know what he's saying about, like, I just don't see him staying healthy. He's got to prove that. No doubt about it. But no, I'm not gonna do that. No, I understand Joe Flacco's got experience, but like Anthony Richardson's got like just the unknown factor is exciting in itself because we just don't know with him. Like, he's just got a different element than a lot of these guys. So no, there's no way I'm taking Flacco over Richardson right now. No way. No way. I mean, Flacco can be the mentor. That's why he was brought in, to push Richardson to be that guy, whether he likes that term or not, that's his role.
That's basically who he is. But like, yeah, I mean, that's the point. If Richardson is the future, he needs the experience. Like, why do we keep giving the guys who have the experience? Why would you suggest that the only reason you want him in there is because he has experience? Like, if Anthony Richardson never gets playoff experience, then he's never going to get better. Like, I mean, you have to get into the playoffs in order to have the playoff experience. You can't get the experience if you don't play. So, like, that's the whole point. You gotta allow the future of this team to have a chance to do that. And especially for the fact that, yeah, Joe Flacco might potentially do better in that situation, but he's 39. Like, who knows if Joe Flacco will survive the season? Who knows?
Yeah, no. I don't know. I don't like the statements that say he's not going to last. Like, let's just wait and see, man. Like, I don't want to already write Anthony Richardson off. You know, he had one serious injury in the NFL, and okay, yeah, that sucked. It sucked that he missed his rookie year. Let's just see, though. Like, let's not just say he's not going to be healthy and just like already be writing him off. Like, I just don't like doing that. You know, that's just not my thing. So,
right,
we'll see. But yeah, so back to Latu. I'm excited for him, what he's going to do his rookie season. And I'm excited because I finally feel like the Colts have a guy that you can believe could be like a premier pass rusher in this league, which is just something that we haven't had in ever. Like, it's been a long time, in over a decade. So well over a decade at this point, right? Because what was it, Robert Mathis in 2013? So that's crazy. So
absolutely.
We need that guy, man. We need somebody who is going to strike fear into the heart of opposing offenses. Derek, I have a random weird thought here, and I know this is way too early for anything, but next year, what if I was to tell you I still have edge rusher as a top need for this team? What would you say to that?
I'd say you're crazy, dog. But
why?
Then again, I said you were crazy last year or this last offseason, and you proved me wrong on that one. Well, here's my thing, because here's the thing. If Latu gets like 6 or 7 sacks, then yes, I would say there's an issue, right? Because I would say then he's not fully ready yet. Because I look at it and I say, you've got Latu, who you think this year could be on the verge of a double-digit sack season before he even steps foot on a real game. You have Kwity Paye, who's improved every year, and when Samson Ebukam, yeah, he's improved every year. He wasn't great last year in efficiency, but he has improved every year. Just gotta hope that this year he takes an even bigger jump. Ebukam coming back next year, so you know he's a potential double-digit sack guy. So I just look at it and I say to myself, like, do we really need to do that much? You know, like, I would much rather invest my draft capital, if I'm going to say it already. I'm going to invest my time into bettering that secondary. That's but fair, I do agree with you also in the fact that if the Colts felt they could get a guy that would immediately make them even better, then I would understand that. I mean, I think at this point, if you're the Colts, you really need to start focusing hard on that defense.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I guess my thought is, like, Kwity Paye has never been a great pass rusher. Now we'll see. But, like, say he stays relatively the same this year at efficiency and all that stuff, and it's like he's not going to be a long-term piece. Ebukam's nearing 30. He's injured. He got injured. He's coming off a serious injury. And then Dayo Adangbo, we don't know what's going to happen with him, but is he more inside? Like, I could see a scenario, Derek, where I'm not saying necessarily draft. I mean, it could, but, like, could we be saying, like, you need a guy to pair with Latu? Like, you want a guy long-term that's going to be like that duo. Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking when it comes to it, is like, not to replace Latu, obviously. Like, but I think just another guy that you can just, where you can find that duo of guys that are going to be a terror for the next 5 to 10 years. That's what I'm thinking about. So if you find, I don't even know who's going to be available at this point, but if you find a guy that's in his mid to late 20s that can give you 3, 4, 5 years of really good pass rushing, why not? That's kind of where I come to it with. But because I think there are going to be a lot of questions about this position group going into next year. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. All right. Well, do you have anything else on this, man?
I mean, we could keep talking for another hour, honestly, but no,
We
I
got
think that's
things that we
pretty
got to
much,
do.
yeah, it's pretty much all that I wanted to talk about. And training camp tomorrow, so that's to be good. I think it's the second. Is it the second full day of padded practice? I know they had one day.
I think it'll be third.
No, because
Yeah, right. Well, didn't they have
wasn't.
practice Wednesday?
It wasn't full pads, I don't think.
Okay.
So yeah,
You might be
but
right.
anyway, I'm excited for that. Just kind of see, hopefully, like you get Dio back, you get some of these other guys back in more of a full capacity, and obviously, hopefully, Alec Pierce is good. I mean, he was still there. He wasn't like carted off like Ebukam, so it makes me think he's all right. So I'm hoping
Especially
that
since we haven't heard anything.
Right,
And
like
it's
we
been
heard about
almost a
Ebukam next day, and we haven't heard anything. So I think that's a good sign.
Might just mean that it's more complex than what it was. The other one was like, it doesn't sound like it's something where like, oh, because they probably don't know. And what they're saying is that something would have slipped if he was going to miss significant amount of time. If he was going to miss a significant amount of time, something would have slipped by now. But we haven't heard that. So that means that he probably won't miss significant time, but nobody has like an official time on when we can expect him back. So they're just not answering the question yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I guess it makes me feel good that he wasn't like just out for the rest of practice. Like he wasn't. He was still present. So I'm like, hopefully it wasn't anything too serious.
Right.
They were just being cautious, and he'll be back sooner rather than later.
And they're just being cautious this week as well. So
yeah, which is fine. I mean, that's what you do, So yeah, that's all I really got, man.
Another one, man.
Yeah.
Dabs, you got to chill, bro. Not really, but you got to chill. I love you, man. If Richardson, JT, Mitchell, Downs, Pittman, and Latu fail us, I swear I'll become a Dolphins fan. Love it, man. Love it. I'll let my friend TD know that over on TD's channel. He's a huge Dolphins guy. Well, anyways, guys, that'll do it for this one. Thank you guys again so much for all the support on this. Thank you so much. Season's here. We'll continue to keep pumping out content. Thank you guys so much for all the support. And as always, guys, go Colts.